Morning again. Thanks for everyone that's joined early. We'll just wait till just a little bit past 11 and then we'll start. Thanks. Morning, everyone. We'll just wait one more minute and then we'll get the show on the road. Okay, I think we're good to go. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, Navigating the POPI Act, ensuring that your data privacy and security. Just so everybody knows, we've also got a Q&A box, so please put all your questions in there. We also will have anonymous polls popping up through the presentation, so please take part. Just so everybody knows, I'm Anton Durant, Business Development Manager at Winjit Technologies. Joining me today is my colleague Stu Chalmers, our Associate Vice President for Africa. Stu, are you ready to dive into the complexities of the POPI Act?
Absolutely, Anton. It's a crucial topic, and I'm excited to share what Winjit Technologies insights with you today. Let's get started with an overview of what we'll be covering. So we'll begin by taking a closer look at the Protection of Personal Information Act, better known as the POPI Act. This is South Africa's data protection legislation designed to safeguard personal information processed by businesses. It covers key principles like accountability, processing limitations, and purpose specification, amongst others. Anton, why do you think these principles are so important?
So, yeah, that's a great question, Stu. So these principles are essential because they ensure that personal information is handled responsibly and securely, which is critical in today's digital age. Understanding these principles helps organizations stay compliant and avoid potential penalties.
Yeah, absolutely. Non-compliance with the POPI Act can have severe consequences. In 2023, the South African Information Regulator issued its first administrative fine of 5 million rand against the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development for its failure to comply with enforcement notice issued to it by the regulator under the Protection of Personal Information Act. According to the Legalese website, the most common POPI violation is the failure to implement adequate security measures. Organizations often fail to put in place sufficient technical and organizational measures to protect personal information. This includes not renewing essential security software licenses such as antivirus and intrusion detection system, which can lead to unauthorized access and data breaches. Anton, do you remember the Equifax breach?
Yeah, so Stu, that was a significant incident. The 2017 Equifax breach exposed the personal data of just over 147 million individuals. This resulted in just over 4 billion US dollar fine in financial repercussions. It's a stark reminder of the importance of data protection.
Absolutely. And in South Africa, it's thought that around 40% of businesses could be faced with penalties relating to POPI compliance, with fines potentially up to 10 million rand. These examples highlight the critical importance of complying with data protection regulations to avoid both financial and reputational damage.
Yeah, thanks for that, Stu. Now, implementing a solid cybersecurity measures is essential for POPI compliance. Here are a few strategies organizations should consider and possibly are already. A multi-factor authentication. So this adds an extra layer of security to protect against unauthorized access. Regular software updates and patching. So keeping systems protected from known vulnerabilities. And yes, the inevitable one, employee training. So this will ensure that staff are well prepared to recognize and respond to potential threats. Stu, do you have any additional tips?
Obviously, use great points, Anton, especially the employee training. I think it's vital. But I'd also add that regular security audits can help identify and address vulnerabilities before they become major issues. So how can Winjit help you to become POPI compliant? Winjit offers tailored solutions that to help businesses comply with the POPI Act and protect sensitive data. Our solutions include Secure Sense, which we'll demo for you later, and our penetration testing services designed to enhance data privacy and security. Anton, can you provide a bit more detail?
Sure. So, okay, let's start with Secure Sense. Secure Sense is an all-encompassing personal information searcher designed for compliance. So it'll scan the databases, it'll scan OneDrive, it'll scan your PCs to go in and actually identify this personal identifiable information. One key feature is the custom scanning capability. So this will allow to tailor your search using certain parameters. Whether you need to search for a specific company name, an ID number, or other customer sort of custom identifiers. Another standout feature is its redaction capability. So once that sensitive information is detected, Secure Sense allow you to easily redact documents and encrypting and copying of that sensitive data, ensuring that data is hidden and not in the wrong hands in compliance with privacy requirements. This makes it incredibly useful, not only for finding data, but also for ensuring that it's safe to share or store. With this comprehensive approach, Secure Sense is more than just a PII searcher. It's a complete data privacy solution aimed at making compliance easier and more effective. Then when it comes to penetration testing, so Winjit Technologies takes a proactive approach to help your organization stay ahead of security threats. We make use of several top-tier tools that are well known across the industry. So for example, we use something called the Nmap. This is to map out your network and uncover potential vulnerabilities. This gives us a clear picture of where there could be some weaknesses. We also use Metasploit, which helps us simulate real-world attacks to see how your system would hold up if targeted. Then there's the Burp Suite, which really sort of comes in handy for testing the security of your web applications, especially looking for issues like SQL injection or cross-site scripting. To make sure we're covering every angle, we also use OWASP as well, which helps us to catch security risks while web applications are being developed. And on top of all of that, we use Nessus for a deep dive into vulnerability scanning, providing us with a comprehensive analysis of any weak points we find. By using these tools together, our goal is not just to identify the issues, but to provide you with practical, actionable steps to strengthen your defenses and to keep your infrastructure secure. Then data classification is also a fundamental part of compliance with the POPI Act. It involves categorizing that data based on its sensitivity and applying sort of approach security controls. Stu, why is this process so essential?
Anton, it's important because it helps organizations manage and protect their data according to the regulations. Using the frameworks such as POPI, GDPR, and HIPAA as guidelines can help ensure sensitive data is handled appropriately. Organizations often face several challenges when working towards POPI compliance, such as effectively categorizing data and maintaining regulatory adherence. Some ways to overcome these challenges include automated data classification tools that improve the accuracy of data categorization, regular compliance audits, as I mentioned, which help ensure you're continually adhering to standards. And as you mentioned, ongoing employee training keeps everyone informed about best practices in data handling. Do you think I've missed anything there? Any other thoughts, Anton?
No, we keep blaming the staff though.
Well, that's the reality.
So those are excellent strategies, Stu. Addressing these challenges directly helps organizations protect data effectively. Let's now dive into Secure Sense for a moment. So Secure Sense is the key to managing POPI compliance with features such as the real-time scanning. So it can scan across databases, OneDrive, and PCs, providing real-time identification of your sensitive data. There's also automated classification. This is to ensure that the data that is categorized and then protected according to the relevant compliance requirements. Custom scanning capabilities. So for organizations with specific needs, SecureSense offers custom scanning options. Whether you need to search for, like I mentioned, the company name, ID numbers, or other custom data points, this feature adds a significant value. Then on top, we've got the redaction, encryption, and backup tools. So once the sensitive data is identified, SecureSense also offers the option to redact documents, images, PDFs, Excel files directly through the tool. This helps to manage the risk when sharing documents, making sure sensitive information stays protected. On the data side, we offer the ability to encrypt and back up that data, as deleting data out of your data tables opens up a whole new side to corruption of data. This makes SecureSense a powerful asset for compliance. Let me show you SecureSense. Welcome, everyone. Like I said, we're going to demo SecureSense for you. Anka, can you log in there? So after logging in, you'll land on the dashboard page, which displays various metrics such as active scanning, scheduled scans that you've put in place. And this is where you'll also find the history of all your completed scans and downloaded scans. You can sort of download your scans directly from here as well. We'll just show you some of the options in detail after scanning the files and databases later. The first tab we have is the file scan, which includes a document redaction feature. For example, let's consider you need to share a document internally or with a client, but want to hide certain information like the financial details, personal information, name, contact number, addresses, etc. To achieve this, you just need to upload the file, which may contain the PII data. And then just after processing the file, you'll be able to see a preview of the processed file. In this preview, you can clearly see that all the PII data is redacted. You can download this file by clicking that download button. And the downloaded file will show all the PII data redacted, with the black boxes replacing the sensitive information. Anka, can you scan one more file and show the result, sort of side by side? Next to each other. Perfect. Cheers. Thanks, Anka. And the next tab we have is custom scanning. So this feature allows you to define custom patterns for each scan, such as organization-specific information like the customer ID, contract number, these patterns called custom scanners. That also appear in the scanning result alongside other detectors. Our next is storage scan. So the storage scan tab offers several supported connector options. SQL Server, MongoDB, MySQL, OneDrive, etc. First, I think we'll just present the SQL Server scanning. So after selecting the SQL Server connector, enter the storage details, server name, database name, table name to your database. And then by checking the Detect All PII checkbox and clicking the Start Scan button, it will scan your database for all kinds of PII. You can also choose specific types of PII detectors, such as personal, financial, sensitive, medical, and security. The scanning result will appear in the Scan History tab. You can download the HTML report, which details in the database name, table name, total rows scanned, objects with PII, severity counts, etc. We've also included the scoring mechanism defined for each of the severity level, and it's based on the kind of information identified during the scan. So we've based this on POPI and GDPR as well as HIPAA compliancy. We've put critical as your credit card numbers, social security number, bank account numbers, passport numbers, ID numbers. We've put high as your email addresses, phone numbers, IP addresses, driver's license numbers, and low we've put as names, locations, date and time. You can also drill down further to see the detailed information in the report along with the location details. And there you'll see the value, PII type, and the actual location that it's sitting in the database itself. Perfect. And the next tab we have is system scanning. Here you can scan your drives to identify files with PII data in it. Just select the directory and start the scan. The detected files will be displayed below. They all are there. And I think just click on one, and then we can just show the mitigations part of it. So yeah, you can directly redact the files itself. Click on mitigate. And it'll give you the ability to quarantine or secure delete. What's nice with the quarantine side of it, so it actually creates a copy of it within your quarantine folder. You want to show us that quarantine folder? Perfect. Perfect. I think also, Anka, maybe let's just show them the integration into OneDrive. So we've also integrated into OneDrive to do the file scan so that one can review the files stored in the OneDrive accounts. So this is very similar to the file scan service. So you've got the ability to actually redact the document / image, Excel sheets in the current OneDrive accounts. Let's just redact that. And then also, obviously, you've got the ability to delete and quarantine. Anka, maybe just show us the secure delete function. So this will delete it at the source, and then it'll also create a copy of it into your specified quarantine folder that you'd like us to put it in. Maybe just show us that quarantine folder as well. There it is. Thanks, Uncle. Okay. And next we have is your scheduled scans. The scheduled scan feature allows you to create a new schedule by entering a schedule name, schedule type, start date and time, and obviously the end date and time. The schedule will save automatically and run at the scheduled time. So if you've got specific run times, so you're currently doing a backups at a specific time, you don't want this to run while the backups are running, then we can physically run all of this. And then after a scan is obviously being completed, there's a whole range of actions that you can also look at itself. And then we've actually made a separate mitigations tab as well. So these are all the current sort of scanning and the files that have currently been scanned. You can securely delete these files from the source location, as well as if the device agent is not running, the deletion will actually wait until the agent comes back online. And then device controller tab. And there we go. And here you can see where which controllers currently online. So this is where the actual registered device itself actually sits. And then from here, let's go back to the dashboard. Perfect. Now let's consider this. We completed our scanning of our environment, and we have received a request from a user under POPI or GDPR Compliance Act to delete all of his information, since he wants to opt out or he's no longer associated with us. Using the search option here, we can directly search that user by name, email address, or any other information, and find out exactly in which locations his memory is. And then you can take further action on it. So deleting it, redacting it, or supplying it to the actual customer itself. Onkar, just at last, but just click on that info tab. Perfect. So on the info tab, you can download the actual device controller. The current device controller is compatible in Windows, Mac, Linux, and Ubuntu. If there's any questions, please ask us. Thank you. Stu, so now that everyone knows how SecureSense looks, could you tell us where it has worked in a real-world example?
Sure, obviously I can't go into too much depth about it, but financial services client of ours used SecureSense, and it allowed them to conduct a comprehensive scan of their data landscape, which they thought they'd done. But it helped them uncover previously unidentified sensitive information, and they successfully achieved POPI compliance while avoiding these fines that we spoke about earlier.
Hundreds. And then next, so penetration testing is also critical to ensure POPI compliance. So this involves simulating the cyber attacks to identify vulnerabilities before these malicious acts exploit them. Stu, why is this proactive approach so important? And maybe a good question is, why aren't companies doing it?
Well, it's important, obviously, because it ensures a solid security posture, protecting your business and sensitive data. Identifying and addressing vulnerabilities early can prevent significant issues down the line. It's important to undertake these checks regularly, as hackers' tools are improving and new vulnerabilities are being exposed and shared online regularly. Companies, I think, often fear penetration testing because they've got concerns about potential disruptions to their operations and the risk of exposing vulnerabilities that could be exploited if not properly managed. Additionally, the cost and complexity of the testing process can be daunting. In my opinion, though, many businesses are also resistant to undertake penetration testing for fear of uncovering some issue on their systems, I think they feel that what they don't know can't hurt them, but as we know, this is far from the case.
Sure. So what is Winjit actually offering then?
So as far as penetration testing is concerned, let me just clarify. Winjit's not offering any virus scanning or firewall solutions. We'd expect that most clients would have these types of tools in place. Offering is more focused on infrastructure and APIs. APIs are a gateway into the client's environment through web apps or mobile apps. If the security of these gateways is not tight, they leave opportunities for penetration. So our penetration testing process includes a few key steps, which is we start with planning and scoping to define the objectives, reconnaissance for the gathering of information about the target systems, scanning to identify vulnerabilities, then exploitation, which is obviously the testing of these vulnerabilities using our own internal white hat hackers, and reporting, which provides detailed findings, recommendations, and remediations, how to fix the issues that we found. Any final thoughts on the benefits of penetration testing for POPI, Anton?
So regular penetration testing offers various benefits. So, I mean, these will include your early detection of vulnerabilities, identify those weaknesses before they get exploited, enhancing your security posture. So to improve your security and risk management strategies. And then thirdly, improve incident response. So this will enhance your ability to respond and mitigate incidents. Stu, why do you think regular penetration sort of testing is so crucial though?
So, I mean, it's important because it helps keep your business ahead of potential threats and continuously improve businesses. It's like having a regular health checkup for your IT system. So combining secure sense with penetration testing gives you a comprehensive approach to POPI compliance. Secure sense helps classify and protect the data, while penetration testing ensures vulnerabilities are identified and addressed. Anton, how do you see these solutions working together?
Well, they completely complement each other perfectly. Stu, secure sense is ensuring that data is properly managed and protected, while penetration testing identifies any gaps in the security. Together, they provide a robust strategy for data privacy and regulatory compliance. So in conclusion, navigating the POPI Act requires the understanding of its requirements, implementing effective data protection measures, and using the right tools to ensure compliance. Our secure sense and penetration testing services are designed to support you in this journey. We'd now like to open the floor for any questions. Feel free to ask about anything we've covered today, or possibly even share some concerns you may have.
Thanks, Anton. Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing if we've had any questions. Our colleague Nordine has been on the case. Has anything come through or anything interesting from the polls, Nordine?
Yeah, we do have some interesting feedback from the polls, but no question yet. So just to let everybody know, you can type in your question on the Q&A section, and then I'll be able to read it out without mentioning your name or your company name. So all the questions will be answered anonymously. So feel free to ask any question. So your information will be safe with us.
They'll be POPI compliant, Nordine.
Absolutely.
Thank you. 100%. Okay, I do have one question that just popped out. Give me 1 second. So how does secure sense integrate with compliance framework? Is prompted? Okay, no, I'm not sure because I see you try to add where.
Yeah, we're not sure quite where then.
I think where is it prompted? So how does secure sense integrate with compliance framework?
I'm not entirely sure what the compliance framework you're referring to there, Dion. We obviously, but the application itself, I think as we showed in the demo, the integration opportunities are quite wide and varied, and we're adding new requirements all the time. So we had a client the other day who was talking to us, and they have an Oracle database, and we'll build a plugin for Oracle as required by the client. So integration with other frameworks is really not too big of an issue. So we're able to, as we built the application, we're able to make those kind of changes to the application as and when is required. I hope that answers your question on that basis.
Okay, I hope you are answered anonymous. Anonymous, if you're not 100% answered, please try and retype your question so we can actually ask it properly. But if you are happy, it's fine. We can move on. I think I'll just have a look now at the results that we had for the polls. The one that I find particularly very interesting is on the ones on how often do people or the organization do penetration tests. So we had a 66% response of annually, and at 33% of only after major system changes. So what are your thoughts on that, Stu and Anton?
I think annual is probably the minimum you would want to do something along these lines. There are, frequent updates and patches that need to be added to applications, as we said. Annual, I think, would be a minimum requirement, and almost definitely after major changes have been made to your system. So if you changed your hosting environment, or if you changed your added a new application which opens up ports into the internet, I think those are definite times when you should undertake penetration testing. Annual is probably an absolute minimum, but it does also depend on the scale and the importance of your data. If you have a massive database with a lot of like credit card information, that type of thing, it should be probably much more regular than that. But if you're collecting, high level customer information, possibly annual is good enough on that basis.
Okay. And then another interesting answer is, how often does your organization scan for sensitive data, which is the PII information, on the local and cloud-based systems? So we had a 40% of monthly, and a 40% of never, and a 20% of weekly. So what are your thoughts on that?
Sure.
Anton?
Just I actually missed what you said there, Nordine.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pick it up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, PII information, is crucial at this stage. Obviously, with the regulations and the big stick that's wielded by the compliance by the law itself. So people are a lot more likely to take cognizance of it, but never is a concern. I think not people saying they've never done any kind of personal identifiable information scan is a concern, because you don't know where it is. It could be anywhere. It could be on desktops. It could be stuck in an Excel spreadsheet somewhere where you've got a list of customers or prospects even, and you've got personal identifiable information on there scattered on desktops and mobile phones around the network. It's extremely important to get it done. Monthly is great. Weekly is fantastic. Never is a huge concern. So I think it should be something that should at least try and see, even if it's just a one-off scan here and there, to understand what the process is. And it doesn't have to be our tool. There are others available, which obviously we're not here to promote, but it is worth having a look and seeing, even if there's a way of doing it, at least to see where you stand, to get a benchmark of where you stand on that basis.
Sure. And I think it's also
yes, carry on, Anton.
So I mean, it also goes into that staff training side. So a lot of the time, staff is then bombarded with, these are the compliancy rules. You can't do this, you can't do that, and they might go and clean up their desktop and delete a whole bunch of things. And coming from the sales side, where we've actually got directors' IDs, banking details, and things like that sit because we're applying for contracts and things like that, / tender documents, where there's a whole bunch of financial information, so it's to really drill down into that unstructured data that's sitting onto our desktops and OneDrive, that really sort of starts opening your eyes going, oh, yes, sure, I've actually got all of those, and now I found it. Now I know what to do with it. So it also helps the staff on that side too. But yeah, that's me. Thanks, June.
Oh, man. Well, I think it's us, everybody. I appreciate everybody's time and their input on that. And obviously, if you want to know a little bit more about how we can help you become POPI compliant, you can get in touch with us. You can either just go onto the website as well, winjit.com, or drop us an email. It's on the screen there, sales@winjit.com. So thanks, everybody, and we'll be in touch. We'll be looking forward to you being in touch. Thanks very much, everybody.
We have one more question. Hold on 1 second. Can you,
Okay.
so the question reads, has your organization dealt with municipalities on things such as valuation roles with people's ID numbers and etc.?
Well, I mean, it depends on where the data is stored. It really doesn't matter what type of data that it is. But yeah, absolutely, ID numbers is a key variable that are, we've been able to identify within clients' databases. So absolutely, it depends. It just depends on where it's stored. But we have, as we've shown, multiple ways of accessing the data. So definitely, it's something we could assist you with. If you wanted to get in touch with us and understand, are we able to help? I feel pretty confident that it's something we would be able to assist with.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's it on the questions. If everybody's happy, no other questions for now.
Great.
Thanks,
Okay.
Nadine.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for your time. And we hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot, James.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye-bye now.
everybody. Have a great afternoon further. Thank you.